turns white down a little bit. It does have a little glare. Probably because it's brighter without the plants. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Ready?
What's up, everyone?
Hi, guys.
I'm Ron.
I'm Angela.
This is Chatter of Opinion. Now, like I said in our commercial, men are from Venus and women are from Mars. I've never really read that. Is
You
that a
ain't
book?
never lied. It is a book.
Have you read it?
No.
I haven't either. I think I probably need to read it just to see what the explanation is as far as the battle of the sexes, or try to understand one another.
The communication.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, men are from Venus, women are from Mars, and it's kind of difficult to try to attempt to understand the thought process when it comes to what a man thinks, what a woman thinks, and how everyone should come together with a common thought or decision on whatever it is that you got going on in life. Now, have you ever tried to figure out a man?
All the time. I try to figure you out daily.
Okay, but
By the second.
but is it to the point where you try to figure me out, or you try to figure out men in general?
Well, for the last 11 years, you've been my focus. I could care less about other men. Like, I don't interact with men. Well, I'm lying. I have one of my employees at work, and yeah,
Right.
we really have had to learn to communicate because he definitely is on Mars.
A different
Yeah.
mindset. Now, when I was coming up, you know what I mean, as a youngster, high school, late high school, early military, I used to hang out with women, but I used to hang out with them to try to understand the thought process.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They
Like,
would let you
yeah,
in on
like
the-
why do you think that, or why do you feel that way, and so forth. And that kind of educated me on a certain level of communication.
So we do that at work, especially with my guy employee, because there's only 2 guy employees in my building, and we'll always ask scenarios, and we do realize it's a guy versus girl thing. Yeah. It's
That's kind of crazy.
We just don't think the same, and we don't do the same, and we're just total opposites.
And not only that, you throw in a guy versus a girl in that thought process, or a man versus a woman, and the difference in the thought process. Then you pile that on with you're raised and you're born in 2 different locations, and then
and then your feelings,
yes,
and the environment, and
that can be very tricky at times. So today's conversation, we are going to talk about some of the top complaints that sexes have about each other. Yeah. Some of the top complaints that sexes have about each other. Now, I will say this. Some of the things that we have on this board are not personal.
No.
Personal thoughts. This is just
not all of them,
right. Just some complaints that we've done research on that people say that they
seeing on social media,
right,
when men or women complain about each other. Yeah,
right. That they complain. Men and women complain about the opposite sex on some of these items. They are not my personal opinions
or mine,
right? So
about each other.
So don't get all butthurt and come at us all sideways if you don't agree. What we will recommend, though, is if you do have a complaint or something just bugs you about the opposite sex,
please share with us.
Please share. This is not to bash any sex, no matter what you identify as or whatever.
It's factual. It's not to bash. It's just
right. It's some things that we have done research on. So if you have a complaint, I guess something just irritates you about the opposite sex, make sure you chime in. We would love to hear what you think is an issue when it comes to the opposite sex.
So what are we going to start with?
So we're going to start with what women complain about when it comes to men.
Okay.
Yes. And I think I'm going to have to I don't know if I'm going to defend because I don't have a lot of the men that follow me on here, but then I'm not talking for all men, but I'm going to try to do my best to explain some of these things. All right.
Please do.
So let's hit number one. What you got?
All right. Constantly waiting to be told what to do.
Ooh, Lord. Here's the
I
thing.
see it all the time on social media.
Yes. And I think it's because.
Why though?
I think because you have so much that's going on, like men and people in general have a lot that's going on. So they don't volunteer to do anything half the time because when it has something, it comes down to something that they have to do. Normally it's on the honey-do list, or they try to pretty much separate themselves from it to begin with. So we wait for you to tell us because we want you to be exact on what it is that you want me to do.
Oh God, I'm screaming inside. Okay, so scenario.
Okay.
We have a house together.
Okay.
So why is it that men have to wait for women to tell them if the dishes need to be done, or the house needs to be cleaned, or something needs to be done around the house, like a handle from the cabinet needs to be fixed? Like, why do we have to direct you to do things?
Personal opinion,
you're waiting
or
to be told for the woman to tell you that, hey, the dishes need to be done.
Personal opinion, or do you want me to just speak in general on this one?
And then, like, we also we're busy, but we see things need to get done, so it gets done. Like, why we don't wait for you guys to tell us what to do?
Do you want my personal opinion, or do you want me to speak in general?
I want in general.
Because a lot of times, I think there are gender roles. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, I think a lot of times when you get into a relationship, you set roles in your relationship, and maybe the dishes and stuff like that in that scenario might have been the woman's responsibility.
So,
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been that. So then you're not going to just jump on it. You just if that's what she normally does, then he'll let her do it until she tells him to do it.
Okay, now you're personal.
My personal opinion is a lot of times we don't want to do whatever it is that you're asking us to do.
I appreciate the honesty.
We just don't want to do it. And then we wait to the last minute. And then you tell me, I'm like, oh, it's at the most inopportune time.
Like just a while ago.
Right. Or I'm watching the game or something like that. Then you'd be like, hey, can you help me clean the garage? No.
Okay, but them dishes have been there for 2 days.
You should have washed them. What's next on the list?
Do you want to retract that before women start messaging us saying, I didn't know Ron was that type
totally
of person?
kidding. I am totally kidding.
All right, next one. Horrible at communicating.
Whoa. Women
think men are horrible at communicating.
Okay. I think men communicate per the information that they have been given.
Explain.
Right? Because if you give me something and it comes down to me either responding or something that I have to do, first of all, I'm going to rack and stack how important it is to me.
Okay.
Now you might think it's totally, you might think it's important to the third power when I don't even think it's important at all. So I'm not going to communicate that with you. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to communicate it with you because I don't really think it's important.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, but if your wife, history-wise, has made it known that it's important, do you continue to not communicate what it is
you communicate that part of it, but then other things are not communicated because the situation has not arose for me to communicate effectively for other things. You see what I'm saying? If you tell me, hey, whenever you're coming home from work, you have to call me.
Okay.
Right? And I understand that that's important to you. All of a sudden, then I'm going to call you when I'm coming home from work. But then I'm not going to do anything else on top of that because all I know is that you want me to call you when I'm coming home from work.
That's okay.
right? Communication, I think, to a guy, when he looks at communication, it has to be important for that guy.
Okay.
I'm thinking. No?
But that's the thing I think that bothers women is that you're only worried about what affects you or bothers you.
Might be.
Whereas
Until
women in general are more concerned about the household in general, and the men are only worried about what they got going on. Not everybody.
You sound like that's a little selfishness on the men's part.
You said it.
Mm.
I just feel like they're like kind of self-centered. Like women they circle their life around everyone else's life.
Okay.
Or revolve their life around everyone else's life, and the men, they just worry about what they got going on.
Now, if that's the case, when you look at things and you say that the man is supposed to be the provider and the man is working and this, that, and the other, he's supposed to have everything together. So when it comes to that part of it, as far as worried about what they have going on affects everyone.
Who has going on? The man?
The man.
But you keep bringing this up about the man being the provider. You
Wait. When did I bring that up?
Just now.
But you said I keep bringing it up. I said it like one time. What are you talking about?
No, you did say it at another time about
today.
No, not today.
Okay.
No, at another time, like on another podcast.
Okay.
Right. And so my thing is, though, that is no longer in general the stats, because people unfortunately are struggling and they need a 2-income household, not just a 1.
If you look and you did a poll on your social media page, I bet you over 90% of the people that you poll will say the man is supposed to be the provider and the protector of your home.
To be.
Right.
That doesn't mean he is.
So then is he lacking? Because he is supposed to be, right?
Are you the provider of this home?
Yeah. Why not?
You're the breadwinner. You make more than me, but I'm still contributing to the household.
But see, you're contributing and providing is like 2 separate things.
Well, but you're acting like all your only job is to provide. But I'm providing too.
First of all, I didn't say I said this.
I'm just saying.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
saying what you're saying about men being the provider. That's all they should be
I did not
about.
say that's all they should be
worried about. The way you implied it was that men are the providers. You kept going back to that, focusing on them providing, but women also provide.
I'm not saying that they don't. But when it comes to, if you think about it, in today's world, and in the past or whatever, when it comes to society, thoughts on head of the household, normally it's who?
Okay, but we're not talking about head of household.
Right, so normally the head of the household is the provider.
Okay.
Normally.
So what does the provider have anything to do with it?
You're talking about communication. Is that what we were talking about?
Yes.
Right. So if the man is the head of the household, a lot of times he thinks of what is important. So his communication is effective when he believes in his mind something is important to him.
To him.
Yeah, because what's important to him will be important for
the. I said the woman thinks about the household as a whole, and you were like, well, because men are the provider, but women are providers too, and we still carry the load.
I think we're talking apples and oranges here.
Well, then we'll move on. Next one, situation driven, not emotionally driven.
Okay.
This is a Ron trouble.
Yeah. Because the emotions when it comes to guys, to me, are kind of out of it. And I'm not saying all guys.
Which is good, because yes, us women can focus on emotion and how we feel. And I know, again, that's why I always say Ron is my soundboard, because he helps bring me back to planet Earth, and he just helps me to see things differently or take into consideration different perspectives, because you aren't emotionally driven.
Right. I look at the facts. What are the facts of the situation? And I look at the situation.
I look at the facts too, but I talk about how the facts made me feel.
No, but who cares how you feel? You need a solution to the problem, and feelings have nothing to do with the solution to your problem. Period. Has nothing to do with it. So I think a lot of times men are situationally driven. Like, what is the situation? What do I need to do to get us out of this situation? Not, oh, how you feel about?
I feel stressed.
Yeah, I don't care if you stress about the situation. Men think, let's just attack the situation and knock it out.
I hear you, but sometimes I just feel like, I don't know, that men just need to maybe appease us a little bit,
No.
make us feel comforted in our feelings. Okay, let's. I'm gonna give a scenario. Say somebody breaks into your home, and your woman is, oh my gosh, she's like totally like, what's the word? Overreactive. Right? Are you gonna, like, you're not gonna be like, you know what? We got broken into. We're fine. Stop it.
Yeah, well,
you're not going to be like, babe, I understand.
No, my job is to calm you down. However, my job is not to be like, oh my God, yes, we got broken into. Oh, I don't know what to do. And then we both emotionally invested in we got broken into. My thing is, we got broken into. What is my job? I'm going to call the authorities. I'm going to make sure that everyone is safe in the house, and then I'm going to whatever it takes for me to secure the household.
Okay.
But you and me both can't be emotionally involved in it. That's not going to get us nowhere.
I hear you. Well, okay.
Right? It's not going to get nowhere.
I'm trying to focus on the thing. Like, I get it.
Right. I know.
But I would hope that a little bit of feelings were there so that you could calm me, not just be like, suck it up, buttercup. We got broken into. I got to call the authorities.
That's a feeling right there.
Shut the F up.
That's my feeling right there. Hey, shut it up. Let's move on. We got broken into. Nothing we can do about it. Let's ride. In the words
Let's
of...
ride. We ride at dawn. I got his license plate.
Yeah. What's next?
All right. Next one is no future vision, has no 5-year plan or financial.
Oh, okay. I could get that. Yeah. Because when I was coming up, I didn't have I lived for the moment. I didn't really have a 5-year vision. I just knew that I didn't want to be broke.
I could see it on both sides, but me being a woman, I know that a lot of the men that I dated, not too many of them were forward looking, forward thinkers of, let me not do this now because I'm trying to get here in the future. Yeah. The women I know tend to do that. But there's also, don't get me wrong, there's also women out there who will go quickly to buy a Louis Vuitton bag before they pay their rent.
Right. And I also think it's age driven too when it comes to the future. When you're young, you just worry about the now. After you reach a certain age, that's when you start thinking about, hey, I need to get this in order. I agree. No matter if it's finances, my credit, this, that, and the other. Yes.
Because I ain't working till I'm 85, 90.
Right. But when you're young, you don't think about that. You know what I mean?
No, because you're young and you think 40 years old is old.
Old, yeah. So it is what it is on that. So I agree. There's no future vision. There's no 5-year plan. And the financial thing is kind of big now, but how to get financially stable sometimes is a question.
Okay. Next one is success brings on bad attitude. You got to explain this one.
Okay, for men, and I can understand why women say that. When a man becomes successful, a lot of times their attitude changes depending on your status. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying all men. Sometimes you can tell when a man's got it together because now he has either options or you have to meet his energy, or expectations. If you're not bringing it like you're supposed to be bringing it. Just because this man became successful, he's going to probably look at you in a certain way. You either holding me down or you're trying to help me in some type of way. You know what I mean? And right now, if I'm moving up and I become successful and you're not helping me out, then what? Then why do I need you? You see what I'm saying? So sometimes that attitude of change. It's just like some people think that a guy when he's, let's say he's working out and he gets all muscle bound, or he lost weight and then he does this, that, and the other, his
Gotcha.
attitude changes
Yeah.
because he's reached the success in those fields. So now I can't deal with you because I'm at a different level than what you at. So his attitude, bless him, his attitude will change. Let it loose, bless him. So that's what it means by success brings a bad attitude in some.
I definitely could see that.
Yeah, sometimes, not everyone, but sometimes.
But that's kind of nasty.
It can be,
because I feel like women are ride or dies. Like, okay, some women.
Okay. Because you have
I'm
women.
I'm going to be with you when you're broke and build you up, and I'm going to be with you when you're successful.
Yeah, but how many times have you seen it? Let's say like on for like COVID or something, where a man was making X amount of dollars and lost his job, and then she left him because now the standards ain't the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now you can't be out there shopping or doing whatever you got to do. The living standards are different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or that person comes up. Let's say a woman becomes like the boss or this, that, and the other. And
Yeah,
it's
but
like, okay,
I don't see a lot of
that.
women leaving their men. Like men do the opposite due to success or fitness.
I would agree with you.
Not to say it never happens. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's more common for men, in my opinion.
That's why it says what women complain about.
Yeah.
All right.
Next one. Men don't take control. They hesitate to make decisions.
I don't know what man that is. You know what? Sometimes when it comes down to it and hesitating to make decisions, especially when it comes to like getting something to eat or this, that, and the other, we just want you to, hey, just decide already. You know what I mean?
And me as a woman, there's a few times where I've come home, Ron's like, I'm hungry. I want this, and let's go. You got 10 minutes to get ready. Oh, okay.
I've never said that, but
like it. You have. Maybe not the whole 10-minute thing, but you were like, I'm hungry. This is where we're going to go. Or that, like, this is my suggestion. You didn't give any but one specific. Let's go.
Okay.
I like that because I have so much going on in my brain that cool.
But men do too. We just want you to make a decision. Just make a decision on what you want. And I fall into this category where I want you to make a decision, but I want you to make my decision.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. I got to talk about this. Ron is picky. Exactly. So he wants me to make a decision, but I give 3 different options, and he has an issue with all 3 options.
Okay. In saying that.
So then I get tired of pulling stuff out of my hat. Yes.
You know.
Because you're going to have a complaint about every single one. Okay. No, because sometimes it's stuff that you will eat, but I just don't feel like that right now. I just had a burger. Are you really laughing? I just had a burger. I don't want to eat a burger again. Okay, I'm done.
Because you're lying. You know what I mean? If it comes down to eat, you know what I eat and what I don't eat. And I don't want no freaking sandwich. So 3 times, if you think of 3 places, be like, let's go to Subway, what's your spot? Panera, and some other junk that I don't want to eat. Yes, I don't want to eat no sandwich. I want some real food.
Because even when I do have stuff with variety, you still have... That's too far. I don't want to go over the river.
But do you know that or not?
That's too far. It's close to the mall.
When you bring that up, that idea of that spot, you already know what my complaint is going to be.
So he's minimizing. We already ate the stuff that's around us 50 million times. Let's explore and
51 ain't going to hurt.
All right. Moving on.
Next.
Don't share their emotions.
Men don't share their emotions.
What I meant by that is sometimes men go through stuff and they just pretend like everything's fine until it's not.
Right. And I would agree.
And I think that men in society need to learn to share or deal with their emotions better.
Caleb said variety is
Just
the
saying.
spice of life. I would agree, but sometimes, and I think I told the story before about when my father said that he was an emotional person or didn't tell us about loving each other and whatnot. We
Mhm.
didn't grow up in that that family dynamic is because sharing your emotions as a man was a sign of weakness.
Okay.
So
So do you believe that?
I think that there's certain
Like,
ways.
yeah, we're not saying to boohoo every time
Yeah.
and act like you got Aunt Flo coming like
But
women,
in certain ways, guys want to be perceived as being strong.
but you guys put that weight on your own selves. Women aren't like telling you, so it's a guy thing.
All of this is you put it on yourself. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yes. Just in general, society always looks at a man as being strong.
Mhm.
Now, is it right for guys not to be show emotion? Probably not. But men want to see you as strong. How can I be the authority of the household or in
I'm just saying,
society when you see me
sometimes
crying?
I would like you to look in my face and be like,
So
yeah, you're cutting me off.
So
I'm
you're
trying
making
to
it
share
about
my
you.
feelings.
You're making it about you. Guys don't want to be doing all that.
But I'm trying to tell you that bothers me that you won't tell me you love me, or you won't tell me how beautiful I am, or you won't tell me I don't know what I'll do if I ever lose you. And I'm just talking in general about men not sharing how they feel.
Right. But to men, you should already know. And I'm not saying that men just don't. You saying to show their emotions. And I'm talking emotions is like crying and this, that, and the other. I'm not saying
This is the
emotions
whole
as far as
Venus month.
feelings.
I didn't say that guys don't cry.
No, you said emotions.
I know, but you're making it like I said men don't boo-hoo, and I want them to boo-hoo. And I want them to be little daisies, little pansies.
Okay.
You read into that because you're a man and you're
I didn't say nothing about
Mars.
that. Let's go.
All right. Show the magic. Oh, okay. Show the magic while dating.
Okay.
Then fall off after the relationship has been established.
Yes, boy.
You pull out all the stops
All
when you're
of
trying
them.
to get me, and then you got me, and you wanna.
Ordinary. Because I wasted my prime self chasing after you. After I caught up to you, I'm tired. You see what I'm saying? I ain't got to run no more. You see what I'm saying? That's
Who
how guys
said?
look at it.
Who said you don't gotta run anymore?
Because I'm tired.
You done stop. You ain't even like.
I wasted my best.
You ain't even pacing yourself. You just like stopped.
That's it. Because you already got the prize, right?
Caleb said something.
You already got the prize, right? You remember when?
Yeah,
and I don't know if you old enough.
You know, when you get a nickel, you don't want the nickel to tarnish. You want it to be and stay shiny. How about a new car? You don't want it to get rusty. You want it to stay nice and clean.
What did my father say? Once you get a car, when you first get it, you take care of it. But after a certain amount of time, it's just a car, right? Remember when you had cereal? I don't know if back in the days, and I might be showing my age.
You are.
When cereal had the toy at the bottom.
Yeah.
You reached in there and you grabbed the toy.
Before
you didn't want the cereal no more. You see what I'm saying? Because you already got the toy. What did Caleb say?
Please, let's share what Caleb said.
Most women tend to get closer to their man when he opens up to them. Okay, and we're referring back to the last comment. Most women are emotionally and easily connects to emotional display. I would agree.
Thank you, Caleb. I think you understand women
more than I agree.
A lot of men.
I agree, but that's not saying that that's how it is.
Yeah, I know.
All right. But yeah, sometimes you do have to try to keep the magic going and do some of the things that you done to get the young lady. and whatnot, no matter if it's date night or whatever you have to do within your relationship.
As you say, romance the stone.
Yeah, you gotta keep the romance going. Yeah, you just don't stop when you get the individual in an established relationship.
And I understand life gets in the way because it happens for women too. I
Mhm.
get it, but I think more women would be more consistent, but they need that man to kind of initiate it.
Okay.
All right, next one can be lazy, especially with household.
Explain.
Kind of what we talked about before.
And what's that?
About if you see stuff's messy or you see there was water on the floor, go get the mop. Don't just leave it for someone else to do or for the wife to do.
Okay.
Right? You see a pile of laundry, go do it. You see a broken this, go do it.
Okay.
You're not arguing that?
No.
So do you agree?
Okay.
This is why we say we just argued to prove our case for this podcast. But I have to say, Ronald is very, very good at
First of all,
contributing.
Where did this Ronald come from? First of all, go ahead.
He is very good at contributing to the household. He is not one to wait for me to do this or that, except when it comes to bathrooms. He's not a bathroom person.
But I clean the other parts
and I've
of the house.
accepted that. I've just accepted that is my thing that I got to do. But if I asked him, he would do it.
Yes.
But there's times where I'll come home on a Friday and he already dusted, swept, and mopped. Why? It's kind of twofold as to why he did it. A, because he says he knows we're going to have to clean over the weekend and I'm going to probably bother him
while I'm watching the game or some sports, right?
But I would rather him do that, no matter the reason behind it, than him not do it and then we not clean because he just didn't clean.
Okay.
No?
I hear you. But I think a lot of times what I had said before when it comes to the household chores and stuff like that, a lot of times it's already established on who's going to do what.
I disagree with that.
No, okay.
I think sometimes it's shoved down a woman's throat.
Because what? Because what?
Because the man is lazy and he just, if he can prevent anything to not do the cleaning, he's going to do that. Instead of this is my home, I want to maintain it type thing.
I think this is an establishment. Like when we start cleaning up this house, right? Let's say tomorrow you say we got to clean. Mm-hmm. What am I doing?
But you set that precedence. I didn't.
Exactly. So in those relationships, sometimes people set that precedence.
You're the one who always would do the easy stuff.
Oh, the easy stuff. Okay. But it's
and then you mentioned I hate doing the dishes.
But okay.
You do the dishes in general. I'm just saying when we first got together.
Okay, but like I said, it was established, no matter who it was established by. So then when you talk about in a relationship, household stuff, sometimes you get into a point where it's established and then it just becomes routine that you do this, this, and this. The man is going to do this, this, and this. You don't agree with that?
No, because we never had an actual conversation. You just tended to do these things, which left me these things. And then now that's the precedence. But that's not always fair. I didn't want to do the bathrooms.
It didn't say anything on there about being fair. Life is not fair, young lady. I don't know where you living right now. But life is not always fair.
You have a comment.
I don't, but go ahead. No.
Oh, okay. I thought you did. All right. Next one is get complacent.
Okay. Let's go back. Caleb said men are masculine,
so there was one. I told you.
And won't do house chores all the time, but will provide the money and do mainly duties, but to clean. Do the manly duties, but to clean. Cook and do dishes. The man has to be very caring.
He's proving my point.
Okay.
That's the women's complaint, that men aren't willing to take on the household part of it.
I don't mind, and I'm talking personally, doing any household chores. I don't think there's
He doesn't.
one chore that is how you say it is
Off
gender
limits.
rolled or anything like that. No, I don't. I cook, I clean, I do laundry, I do all of it. So yeah, there's not one person's job to do anything.
We just tend to do certain things.
When it comes to cleaning, we just have a routine where you do this, I do this, blah blah blah. Yes. And that
So
was
if you came
established.
home and I was dusting and doing the floors, would you automatically go do what normally I do?
Probably not. But no, well, what happened is if you were dusting and you did the things that I would normally do,
You would be like, thanks.
no, I
for
would
doing my
ask
part.
what else needs to be done.
And I'd be like, you know what needs to be done. I didn't want to clean the bathrooms today. I've cleaned them for 11 years.
And then we're going
You
to go
can clean
to
it today.
then we're going to go to number one, constantly waiting to be told what to do, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be chilling. Just letting you know. Let's go to the next one. We got
We're
one
done.
at a time. So,
We're done with what women complain about for men.
okay. So,
On to women's complaints about men.
Men's
men's
complaints
complaint.
about women.
Yes.
Yes. So let's get to the first one. We're just going to get right into it. Hold themselves to low standards.
Mhm.
Hold themselves to the lowest of low standards, but feel entitled to be to the best. Once again,
Explain
hold
that to
themselves to
people.
low standards, but feel entitled to the best. As in, let's say you dating, you want this, you want the Louis Vuitton, you want the nice perfume, you want this, that, and the other, but you live at home with your moms.
Yep. I've seen it myself on TikTok.
Right. I got to do, as a man, I got to do
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, and E.
She's like, so do you live, what's the one I saw where she's like, do you live by yourself or do you have roommates? I was
Right.
like, I have my own home. Do you have a car? Yes. Do you this? And then he started asking her the same question.
Questions.
She's like, oh, well, we're not talking about me, or oh, I live with my mama, or
Yeah, I'm with the
and
grandma.
he's like, so
this
you're
and-
saying you won't date me unless I have these things, but you aren't even
employed.
there.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's one of the things that men complain about. You want to be treated as a queen and want all the jewels as a queen, and I got to provide it for
and
you.
you want a provider.
Yeah, and I got to provide it for you when you do absolutely nothing. You're just entitled to the finer things in
Unfortunately, I
life.
can't even argue with that because I believe that women do that.
Some,
But there's others who I know I'm very contributing, and I will not.
what?
I was waiting for you to be like,
No, I was not going to do that. But go ahead.
I feel like I pull my weight
Okay.
any way that I can, but I would never just like sit there and expect my man to just
Right.
do.
Now I understand having standards, right? Like you have
Yeah.
standards. You just don't want to be taken advantage of, and you just
Right.
don't. You want to kind of.
I want a man who works, but
Yeah.
that don't mean I'm not working.
Yeah, but don't tell me I got to be on the top of my game when you're like at the bottom of your game.
Yeah.
I just disagree with that. Next one is use sex as punishment.
I hear this happens a lot of households. It does not happen in your household, so stop trying to
Use
pretend.
sex. I didn't say anything because it's not about me. I'm not talking about me. Use sex as punishment. Men complain that when they go through some things or whatever, let's
They
say,
get put on the couch.
yeah, like let's say like we do forget that to do something that you asked us to do. Let's say we do something happened within the relationship or so forth. The women just cut sex completely off.
Yes.
Right. So they
And
use it
then
as punishment.
They're dirty because then they'll wear their cute negligee.
Negligee.
What's it called? Teddy? What's it
The
called?
lingerie.
Oh yeah, lingerie.
Okay.
What did I say?
Negligee. It's kind of the same. Yeah.
Okay,
But
but
we-
that was
they-
like back in the day.
Yeah,
word, huh?
yeah. That was an old school word.
Right? Okay.
People are looking that up, Googling that right now, like negla.
I'm just
Okay.
saying, like they do stuff to entice them just to like get under their skin.
Maybe I'll come to
because they're
bed
not-
naked and put the booty out or
yes.
something like that. And
Yeah.
then they was like, nope,
Yeah.
don't
Cut
touch
it.
me. Yeah. So that's one of the issues that men said about women, that they use sex as punishment. The next one would be hold men to unrealistic standards. And this kind of falls under the same one
The first
as
one.
the first
You
one.
gotta have a house, you gotta have a car, you gotta have this much in your
Yeah.
bank account.
You got to maintain this. You got to do this X, Y, and Z for me. No matter if they're working or not, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
The woman is working or not. The man has to do this, and this. When it's really unrealistic, because the man just works, the whole day, the 8 hours. But you expect, let's say you're not working, you expect the dude to come home after a hard day's work and then spend quality time and then do this, that, and the other, and then be outside cutting the lawn, and then you got to do this, that, and the other. Sometimes it's unrealistic, but you hold them to that standard when you know that there's not enough hours in the day to complete everything that you want the person to complete. This is what I'm talking about. Personal stuff, as far as you do spend some quality time. When you have time, spend it. If you have the money and whatnot and you can afford to do stuff, okay. But don't say that I'm making $100, but you want me to take you to Bermuda every 2 months. You know what I mean? That's unrealistic.
Right.
I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you want me to
just to upkeep
to floss you up.
imaginary
You want me to
lifestyle.
floss you up. I'm not trying to do that.
All right.
All
Next
right.
one.
Never want to just make a decision. Same with the guys. Is what is the same situation as what we had with the guys about making the decision.
Yes.
Women just never want to make a decision. When I come home, I'm hungry. I want to go eat.
So
you've been thinking about this all
complaint is
day.
on both ends.
Yeah, you've been thinking about this
no
all
one
day.
makes
Just
a
make a decision.
decision because both expect a decision from the opposite.
I just don't want to make the wrong decision, so I just let you make all the decisions because I don't want to make the wrong decision. No, that's not how it is. Flip that.
So this is what I do. Huh?
What's that?
This is what I do with Ron. Is I come up with 3 or 4 different places and tell him, okay, I gave you choices. You choose from one of those. Right? Okay. I was telling Ron about this video that I saw where it said about this is how you get a woman to decide where to eat. And the guy gets in the car and he's like, guess what? We're going out to eat to your favorite restaurant. Guess where? And she says, whatever place. And he's all, yep. And that wasn't the place. But to her, whatever he had first said is clearly the place she would want to go because it's her favorite place.
Yes.
I was like, smart man.
Flip that.
Smart man. Oh, is that what you're telling
me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a smart way to get a decision made. Yeah. Just say, hey, I'm taking you to your favorite spot on Friday.
Yes.
Guess where we're going to? And she'll say, where are we going to? The Cheesecake Factory. Yep. And then you go ahead and do what you got to do because it's already good.
Yeah.
His favorite restaurant.
Or be like, guess where I passed today? And I thought, oh my gosh, that's her favorite place. And she'd be like, oh, did you go by
Tiffany?
Yeah.
Yep. Sure did.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Next one.
Next one. Complaint about men have about women is they are too emotional and want men to side with them even when they are wrong. Once again,
I agree with that.
Too emotional and want men to side with them,
yes,
even though they are wrong.
Yes.
Because when you're up in your feelings,
I want you to make me what's the word? I want you to confirm the way I'm feeling.
But half the time, it ain't right. You shouldn't be feeling that way.
Says who?
Me. You asking me. If you're asking me, like you want me to side with you, and I'm not saying me and you. I'm just saying sometimes you're wrong.
I hear
your feelings is one thing, but your feelings towards the situation is wrong.
So yes.
Yes.
And it's hard for us women to hear, no, you're wrong.
Right. So then I become the problem.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
It's life, buddy.
That is not right.
You see how I'm playing the devil's advocate now?
Yeah, that's not right.
Deal with it. Next one.
Women, the complaint that guys have about women is they always want to talk and tell us about them.
Okay, when he said this one, I was like, that's not, you might have a point.
Like women say, hey, we need to talk. You like, shit. And I don't normally cuss.
And then we tell you our
guys
complaint.
think that like it's when you say you need to talk, it's always something about the guy. It's always something about what we didn't do, what we need to do, what we gotta do, what we have to do, what we missing and doing, and whatnot. But then when a guy says, hey, let me talk to you, and it's about you, it's a wrap. Then it becomes all emotional. Well, why are you saying that? I don't even want to talk about that. Why? You want to talk about it when it has to do with the man, but when a guy wants to talk to you about you, oh, it's a wrap. No.
I kind of agree a little bit,
Okay.
but I think sometimes when women bring up something, because yes, I have to agree, women probably complain more about men than vice versa.
Oh, that's a
At
stat.
least to put it, yeah, I know you need to say that, but shoot, where was I going with that? In general, I don't remember.
Well, about men, women don't want to be talked to about them. You don't remember where you was going with that? Because you're going to put your foot in your mouth. That's why. That's why.
I always want to talk until it is about them. Yep,
yeah, women always want to talk until it's about them.
And I'm not drinking, folks.
When it comes down to the conversation and the man says, hey, we need to talk, you ain't talking about nothing.
You're missing all your comments.
No, my comment here is that I already read this one, and then Monica says hygiene. You pay attention to your side. Okay.
Crystal ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that men complain about women. Always want to talk, but if it's about them, it's a wrap. They don't want to talk anymore. The last one is women never take responsibility for making bad decisions when it comes to choosing a man that they have chosen, but then making the new guy pay for it.
I feel like that's across the board.
Nope.
No, you think it's just women?
Yeah.
They are tainted.
Oh, a man will take it. Here's how I see it. Men are wrong for talking bad about women. Let's say I had a guy had a relationship with a girl and she just did not pan out to be what she needed to pan out to be. Or he had 2 or 3 girls or women or whatnot that didn't pan out to be what they were supposed to be. The guy says, man, I went out with this girl and these girls and they were this, this, and this. And they are wrong for talking bad about them. But a woman will talk bad and not take ownership. If you have 3 people that you mess around with and they are all the same type of dude and they all did you dirty, you chose that person.
Yeah.
Right? Don't make me pay for your bad decisions.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I choose bad. Are you a bad choice as well?
Yeah, but you already put me in the bad category. So then now I got to do some extra stuff because the choices that you made in the past.
What they do is make you prove yourself to them for other men's
for stuff that they never made anybody else do.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel
just take ownership. I made a bad decision. I made bad decisions when it comes to selecting these guys. You are not that guy. I don't think.
Hopefully.
I'm going to let
clearly I have a pattern.
I'm just saying, I'm going to let you do whatever it is that you got to do. And you prove me wrong. But don't punish me for the choices that you've made when it comes to you selecting your man. Just say, I made a bad mistake. I let this dude do this, this, and this, and let's press on.
And let him make his own mistakes.
Yeah, it's totally different. But when you bring those bricks from your old house, you're going to start building the same foundation. But don't make me that bad person.
Crystal said that was funny. And women don't like to be told they're the ones who's wrong or needs to be talked to.
Exactly. But they'll be quick to tell you what you got to do and what you ain't doing. You know what I mean? That whole, hey, when you get home, we gotta talk, or hey,
I know.
can we talk?
all of you
Oh,
hate
guys
that.
are
Do you
it don't
guys have
matter.
like a 101 class where they help you to?
That's just a universal understanding. When a woman says we need to talk, is not good. Period. Because either I ain't did something or I gotta do something. Right? When a woman wants to talk, it's something that I didn't do, that I need to do, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you got to do this. Yeah. But then when a guy says, hey, let me talk to you about this. Oh.
What?
All
right. Do you want to do our stats?
Okay. First of all, Monica, when it comes to complaints about the opposite sex, is hygiene.
Oh,
Monica, explain that.
Hygiene. Ooh.
Yeah, when a guy has, like, I guess, bad hygiene, and I've done a podcast on my own, and somebody else said that too. When you look a certain part, but then your hygiene is awful. Women complain that men's hygiene is bad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like what? Like they don't brush their teeth. They don't take care of their feet.
Could.
They don't wash their hair.
Could be. You know what I mean? Could be working out, and could be just
they didn't wipe till it was clean.
Could be a hormonal thing where you walk around smelling like New York hot dog water or something like that. I don't know. I'm just saying. Gross. Could be that way.
Oh no.
Yeah. So hygiene is one of the things. She says don't shower. I don't know what man nowadays that don't shower, but you have some people that don't shower. I always wonder, like, I see people full on sprinting at work. Okay. Like they are getting it.
At work.
Yeah, like around my building and stuff like that. They full on sprinting, I guess, at lunch and this, that, and the other. And then I don't know too many places they got showers in the facility. So then you go back and then
they're dressed.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Then you smell like swamp water. I don't know.
Or New York hot dog water.
New York street hot dog water.
That's such a
she says not every day. Rebecca Valdez, what's going on? But yes, that's how I guess some people see it. You know, when they complain about a man, it's because the hygiene ain't where it needs to be. And I blame some men too. And I'm gonna say this, and I'll go to the stats. Like if I'm at the gym and somebody they're working out with their buddy and they are cutting up.
Y'all don't say nothing.
The buddy don't say nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, bro.
Would you?
If one of my boys, oh yeah, in a heartbeat, be like, bruh, you woofing. you kicking like Cristiano Ronaldo. Your pitch is humming like Boys to Men.
Oh my God. Yes. How many more you got?
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Yes. Your pitch is swinging like Jackie Robinson right now.
Oh my gosh.
I will let that person know that they're kicking, because if I'm sitting there, they're representing me too. You know what I mean? And
they might think it's you.
Exactly. So, but I would want, if I'm a true friend, I would let my friend know, hey, bruh, bruh, you kicking, bruh.
You ain't smelling so fresh.
Nah.
Fresh and so clean.
You smelling like 10 hot dogs right now. I'm just saying. You smell like onion water. Yeah. Okay. So when I did the research on this topic, and I went to a website, it was couplestherapy.inc by John Gottman. It said women make 85% of the complaints in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to complaining in a relationship, 85% of the time, it's a woman complaining about what a man either does or doesn't do.
Doing what you're supposed to. Y'all ain't contributing to the relationship. You ain't putting in your half.
Or women allow standards to be established, and then once they are established, they want to complain.
Always stand by that.
Yeah, you want to complain about what you allow to happen for years. Yeah, if you don't want it to happen, don't let it be established.
People can change their requirements.
Not on an establishment. not on an establishment. If you establish a certain way,
But you say established, like we had a conversation about it, and you always say that about setting the
Mhm.
standard, and I'm like, but no one actually sits down when they have a relationship to be. So what chores is it that you
Okay.
want to
What-
take on as your responsibility?
once you realize at the beginning
Tell
that
me
it
when.
was uncomfortable or it wasn't right or the word that you used wasn't fair,
Uh-huh.
right? Once you started doing things and you know that it's not fair, then you address that issue from the start. Don't go 3 and 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
allowing the same thing, the
And then
same patterns, and then
complaining,
you want
look
to
at
complain
this
afterwards.
mother.
Yeah, like no, you can't complain. You know what I mean?
You
Because
can't
you
complain.
allowed it to happen for so long.
You can complain.
Period. You can complain,
It
but
just-
it's gonna fall on deaf ears
Yeah.
because you had all these years to correct the issue, and then all of a sudden you want to make it an issue when you've been doing this, or you allow me to do this for years. Nah, that's not how it works. Not how it works. Social media also says that weak men complain about women.
That to me was crazy when I heard that.
Yeah. They said
I
a
know.
lot of men don't complain, like I said, only 50%, because they think that it's not right for a man to complain about a woman.
I
If you
just
complain, you're
strongly
weak.
disagree with that because you have needs and wants too. Why should you have to keep your mouth shut if your woman's not doing what you need her to do as your partner?
I agree. I have
That's
no
the
issue if
craziest
I have a
thing.
problem.
I feel like a lot of men's issues is strictly themselves and the way y'all think.
I don't know
Y'all
about that.
don't do emotion. You guys don't communicate. And you don't want to communicate to your woman
That's right.
about what the issues are.
Let's just suck it up and let's ride, according to Russell Wilson. Rebecca says, why can't you correct it when you're told? You can correct it when you're told, but it just depends on
how long it was.
how long
So
it's
that's
been
his
going
point,
on.
Rebecca, is we tend to come across a lot of people that, we moved in and I was trying to be wifey status and I was cooking him all his lunches and
Mhm.
getting up at 3 a.m. to do his lunch for his work.
Speak
And then I
up.
got tired of doing it.
Mhm.
Well, after doing it for so long, how do you expect for him to not want anything different
Right.
or to want something different? I think I said that wrong.
Right. So, like I said, when you're doing things like on a daily basis, let's say you establish this relationship
Mhm.
kind of, and then you're cooking for me every single day.
Right.
You're making me feel all comfortable, making me feel like, I guess, a man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every day you cook for me.
Like
and
this
then,
is what you do.
right. Then all of a sudden I come home, I do
And
sit
you
on the
pissed
couch and
about
I jump on ESPN and you don't cook.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like, what's going on with this woman? I'm looking over my shoulder like, where's the food at? That's why, if you know me, I never get into something that I cannot continuously do. And I don't want you to do anything for me that you're not going to continuously do. Don't serve me my food. Don't put no food on my plate. Don't pick my plate up from the table. Don't this, that, and the other. No, I got it.
Mhm.
Because
and I appreciate you for that, babe.
don't wash my clothes.
Yeah.
Don't do this, that, and the other. I got it. Because if not, and you don't do it, I don't want there to be an issue if you don't feel like doing it. Because
Mhm.
feeling like doing it and being responsible for doing it
Yeah,
is two different things.
Yep.
Yes, you set that tempo.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I am. And Eric says, right. But that's just me. You know, a lot of times when people get into relationships, they establish certain things, and then after a long period of time, decide that it's either overwhelming or unfair, or they don't want to do it anymore. And that's what causes the issue.
Right.
Yeah, because you have made me accustomed to certain behaviors and you're changing your behavior. Right? So
you told them, huh, babe?
Told them. They didn't want none of that. Y'all didn't want none of that smoke.
Oh,
but yes,
God.
like I said, they said 85% of women are the ones that do the complaining in the relationship, And social media says that weak men complain about women.
That's crazy.
You're supposed to just suck it up as a man and don't complain. Do what you got to do and figure it out.
And that would make me feel bad if I was always complaining and then my man just never complains about me. Come on, I'm not that perfect. I know there's something wrong with me.
They'll be throwing some jabs in there somewhere. It
yeah.
might be in a different form, but it
Probably,
might not be a
but
complaint form, but it might
I
come
feel
out
like
in
a lot of
way.
men do passive aggressive stuff when they
maybe
because they don't want to communicate
yeah.
to say what their issue is, so they figure out a different way to communicate, not communicate.
They'll bring up some different a different couples scenario, like, you know what, man, you know, such and such clothes the other day, you know, after he been working like 8 hours. That's ridiculous how she didn't wash his clothes and he had to go to work without a clean uniform.
Yeah.
So then that's the guy's way of saying, hey, you better get in there and wash that doggone uniform.
And guess what? I didn't hear it because you didn't communicate well. You were telling someone else's story, not your own.
That's it. Eric Ryder says, oh, you pretty perfect. You know what I mean?
Who's perfect?
He said you. You know what I mean? Because you said, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? When it comes to that.
Thank you. I thought you were saying Ron. I'm like, what?
No, I'm nowhere close to being perfect.
Me neither, but
yeah, when it comes down to it, you know, in the items that we have on the board, once again, are not really my views. Correct. I can see
I think the main thing is to be considerate of each other.
Considerate, and one of the things on both sides is communication. Communication is the key to success for any type of relationship. If you have an issue with male on male, woman on woman, woman on male, or whatever it is, you need to communicate that. Don't wait or stall it out until it's an issue or a problem, because now you're going to address it as a problem instead of as kind of a concern.
Yeah.
So address that issue and then press on. Don't be rude about it. A lot of times when people can't communicate effectively or have an issue with a person of the opposite sex, they do it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
You have
or the wrong time.
Correct. Mm-hmm. You have to understand exactly who you're dealing with when it comes to a person or the person that you are involved in. Know how they receive things. I would admit in my relationship with you and whoever, I would say that there's a lot of times where I would say something the way that I would want to receive it. But that's not necessarily meaning that you're going to receive it the same way that I would like to receive it. So know who you're with. You might see it as aggression. I might see it as, I'm just letting you know.
I'm just straightforward.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a different way to approach different situations. But once again, don't let your situation or your concern become a problem and then address it after it's already a problem.
Yeah. Or resentment has set in.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That is our time for today. Good conversation when it comes to complaints of the opposite sex. That's what the conversation was about. We really appreciate everyone that has chimed in on this wonderful Thursday.
Yep.
Weather's getting good, so make sure you guys take care of each other. 420 is coming up, so if you're going to partake in a little smoke, make sure you're responsible in doing what you got to do, especially here in Albuquerque. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what you bring up for 420?
Yeah, 420 is smoking day.
Okay. Y'all enjoy 420.
Yes. All right. And we shall talk to you guys later.
Bye. Have a good day.
Oh.